Alright guys, Egne here, and we are going to get into the good, the bad, the ugly, and the glitches of the new wetland jungle. Let's get right into it. Alright guys, so like I said, we're going to get into the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the glitches of this new jungle, and what really needs to be fixed, and etc. Alright, before we get into that, got to get into the usual shenanigans. This video is sponsored by AppCoins. We're using my code EGNETA. You can get anywhere from 5 to 65% off all in-game purchases. Great way to save money, especially when they're robbing you dry on this island of fungi and stamina. So it's a great way to save some money, be able to get a little bit back in your pocket. So again, that's using AppCoins, using my code EGNETA to get 5 to 65% off all in-game purchases. Full description of how to do so will be down in the description down below. As well as in the description down below will be a link to my Discord. It's a great little place to hang out, ask questions, etc. We do occasional calls in there and such, so it's just a great little community to be in. And it's been there for a couple years, and just a great group of people. As well as that, would really help me out if you can hit that like, subscribe, share the video, leave a comment. It all helps me know what kind of content you guys want and to be able to help out in the YouTube algorithm. Alright, so we'll get right into it. We'll start with the good. What's good about the new jungle? Well, I like the concept. The concept is good, so we'll give it that. The new way that they have season and normal stamina split, that's good. And that's it fairly good. Everything else about this is pretty bad. So we'll get right into it, and I'll show you why and what's going on and what they really need to fix. Let me send my troops back in real quick. So here is the biggest problem with the jungle. First, or the wetlands. First off, unless you have 100 people active dolphins and whales in your alliance, you're going to have a very hard time, and which is ridiculous. As you can see, our allies are mostly free to play, and they literally can't get anywhere without having problems. It's ridiculous, and what we're testing right now is if it's even possible to brute force them. As you can see, we got it down to 3%. But here's the thing: when it says it's stopped on the supply range, on the medium stopped, it's not actually stopped. They still attack it. So that's ridiculous. There's no rest at all. And if you look at the actual ants that they have, like, they're pretty weakened because we've gotten them down quite a bit. But a lot of times, they always have pay-to-win ants. They always have, high-tier ants. A lot of them are like running full. And then if you run into the bosses have stats like I have, which is ridiculous. I mean, most free-to-play alliances or smaller alliances, they're not going to have any chance. So I think that needs to be tuned a little bit. But here's what they really need to do. So I'll go through the rest of the bad, then I'll offer a solution. So more on the bad side, regardless of if they have a wonder or not, or a residence, they can literally port wherever the fuck they want, which is retarded. It's absolutely ridiculous. They shouldn't be able to do that. They need to be confined more to the restrictions that players have. Now, on top of that, they have unlimited clay, unlimited stamina. So they just keep on going no matter what. There needs to be some kind of better way of limiting that, because there's not a single alliance that I know of that's going to have 80 plus people on to be able to combat their 60 plus that they have on at any given time. They're always sending rally after rally after rally after rally after rally. It's ridiculous. They need some way to be able to limit that in some way, because as you can see, we still got 24 days left, and a lot of us are already into the billions of resources used, let alone healing speed ups and etc. It's a little too much. Let me heal my stuff. And here's the other thing too, is as soon as seasons are released, you have a really hard time moving anywhere because they already have max lineup seasons for 60 plus that they're using against you at any given time. So you get in a standstill to where you can't really do anything. Now, some of the ways that they could adjust that is if, for one, like in your area, the highest building that you have is a level 6 wonder. There's no way to be able to prep yourself to be able to get buffs because in every other area, excluding the tree, they have control. So it makes it really difficult to be able to even get those wetland buffs up to be able to combat them efficiently. So they need to either adjust on that or at the very least make it so that the infected are not controlling some of the wonders, whether it be some of the outlying regions or even going into the clash area. Just to be able to reduce the amount of total buffs that they start out with. That's something that they really need to do. Now here's another odd thing that we found out, is even if you clear out everything in your area so that they have nothing, these towers did not exist a few days ago. They randomly were able to just place a tower out in the middle of nowhere for no reason whatsoever. Not connected to anything, not having any ability to be able to do anything within that area whatsoever. They just randomly built a tower, which is also ridiculous. So now we got through that. What's some of the glitches? Well, they did patch the one glitch that I found to be able to basically stop them from being able to fight against you at all. Now, I don't know why, before the update that they did, it was actually manageable. And I don't know why, but that's the patch that ended up fixing it. But for whatever reason, they decided to give the fucking NBC meth. Because these motherfuckers are just relentless as hell now. And they're stronger, and it is overwhelming for alliances. I mean, it's typical, maybe 1 to 2 buildings a day is about all you're going to be able to get to. And a lot of people, especially those free to play, they're running out of resources. They're running out of speeds, they're running out of ports, because you're constantly having to port back and forth. And another thing that we also noticed is that their merge speed is way faster than any of us, whether it be to a building or anything. So they could literally set a rally from way back here and get there to this ferry before I can get there, and I'm sitting right next to it. That's retarded. There was no way. They need to have the same mechanics as normal players to make this manageable, or at least more manageable. Because, like I said, top tier alliances are about the only ones that are going to be able to do anything. So that's definitely a glitch, whether it be an intended glitch or not. I have no idea. So we'll see about that. Hopefully, a dev or somebody will give an answer on all of this in this video. Some of the other glitches, like I said, that the tower popping up out of nowhere, the supply, they'll still hit it even if it's stopped, which is ridiculous. And yeah, that pretty much is the majority of the big glitches that I've seen. We've seen some weird ones where they can kind of port half in and half off when it's connected, which is why we put people here, because they were able to actually port in these 2 squares, even though they're blue, which again goes back to they need to have the same limitations as players. So as we're going here, we got it down to 1%. So I'm going to try to show you guys what happens if it actually hits 0, if they actually stop or not. So I'll pause for a second and we'll get back to that. Alright, so as you can see, they did actually stop when it hit 0%. Well, they got the last little straggler march, but as long as they don't set another rally, they did actually stop. And as you can see, it does say near stopped. But if you go all the way up here to the building, it's just says supply is near. So that means that they more than likely will magically get stamina again for the building, which is going to be a bit ridiculous if that is true. They honestly, they made this way too rough in regards to all this. But anyway, give me your, and to specify, for us to be able to run this down to 0, it took an alliance of active, we got one person that's gone for a while, of active 86 people, a day and a half, full stam, with buying fungi and stamina packs in order to be able to run it down to 0, which is ridiculous. That is way too much. And that was over the course of 3 towers, essentially, because, well, the ferry, they had a tower here, and it was the 2 ferries. We got 1 in there, destroyed 2 there, so yeah, 3 towers, essentially. Way too much, way overboard. But anyway, you guys leave your thoughts down in the comments down below. Let me know what you think, and Agnes out. We'll see you in the next one.